So I saw this quote from Draymond Green. I tell you, I bumped into him at the fight when Tyson Fury fought Wilder. He liked me. I liked him. Anywho. So he says he's picking the Lakers to win the championship because of one guy. You know who the one guy is. Here's Draymond Green. LeBron's not going to win the championship. The only question for LeBron is when he doesn't win it, how much does he blow up this organization and get a real star player alongside he and Anthony Davis? Folks, we have a history with LeBron. He's 3-6 in the finals. When he has help, he gets the 3. When he doesn't have enough help, he gets the 6. They're not winning because they just lost Avery Bradley. And I know what you're saying. What's Avery Bradley? He's a piece. Nobody's winning it by themselves. If they did, LeBron would be 9-0 in the finals. The reason Michael Jordan, we just watched the documentary, went 6 for 6 in finals because he had Scottie Pippen in all of them. And then Dennis Rodman in some. And then Phil Jackson, the greatest coach in the modern era. Michael didn't do anything out of college into the NBA without Scottie Pippen, without Phil Jackson. Didn't do anything. Couldn't get past the Pistons. That's the best basketball player ever, and I think LeBron's first or second best basketball player ever. Magic doesn't win the titles if he doesn't inherit Kareem and he doesn't get Pat Riley, probably one of the smartest 2 or 3 people that's ever been in the NBA. LeBron's not winning the championship. It's not a knock on LeBron. He didn't have enough pieces. Is everybody forgetting that Avery Bradley is their third best defensive player? That he would have been on the floor in the final few minutes of these playoff games. Like when they go to the bubble now, if there's 3.5 minutes left and they're tied with the Clippers, Avery Bradley would have been on the floor. He plays 24 to 25 minutes a night, gives you 8.5 points, 44% from the field, 36% on threes, and he is their third best defender after Anthony Davis and LeBron, according to defensive win shares. He would have been on the floor, not Jared Cook or Jared Dudley or Quinn Cook. So now what it comes down to is more on LeBron's shoulders, and we've seen that happen 6 times in the NBA Finals, and he's lost each one. That's not in any way a shot at LeBron James. The only question for the Lakers is when they lose to the Clippers or Milwaukee or Boston. And I think Boston really has too many good players, and I think the Clippers have too many good players. Then what does LeBron do next? But right now, without Avery Bradley, who would be on the floor late in games, a two-way player, a defendable veteran, high IQ, this is LeBron's kind of guy. And that's why he's playing for the Lakers. It's LeBron's kind of guy. They had all the young guys. They move out. He gets Avery Bradley. It's not a coincidence. They started moving older veteran players in. Danny Green, LeBron wanted him. He was on the market. Avery Bradley, LeBron wanted him. He was on the market. Why? Veteran players, high IQ, get the game, play both ways. And Avery's gone. So now the rotation, the Lakers' playoff hopes are down to LeBron, AD, Danny Green, and cross your fingers. That's not a championship winning formula. Not when you have a stacked Clippers, a stacked Celtics, and a very good Milwaukee team. And by the way, don't count out Toronto. A lot of veterans. I just don't know if they have enough shot makers at the end of the clock. But the question's going to become, this is not about, anytime you say they'll win it because of LeBron, folks, you can't depend solely on LeBron. And this is one of these stories in sports nobody's paying attention to. Avery Bradley's a real player. He is a real player in a championship team. 24 minutes, 9 points a game, 44% from the field, third best defensive player. Now you got Kyle Kuzma's been a Laker for 3 years. We looked it up this morning. Does he have a game-winning shot with the Lakers? I'm not sure he does. I don't think he has a shot under 12 seconds in any Laker game for the win. He may. I looked it up this morning, couldn't find it. That's what the playoffs are. Close games, big shots late. I don't think Kuzma has one. So it's in sports, I think most of us think sports is pretty good right now. Obviously with COVID, we're crossing our fingers. But, the Yankees and Dodgers are good in baseball. A lot of our traditional powers, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Bama are good in college football. In the NFL, we've got like Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. We've still got Breeze and Brady. We got young stars. We got old stars. The NBA, LeBron's one of the best players ever, and he's rolling. The Lakers are good. The Celtics are good. It's a lot of traditional powers. The New York Knicks have a brand. I don't think it's nearly as good as people think. But this is one of these what could have been in sports. LeBron James, when he was in Cleveland, according to Bill Simmons, wanted to be a Knick. Let's be honest. The late Kobe Bryant used to say there was nothing like playing in New York. Phil Jackson took a job in New York. LeBron talked about New York. New York is special. Michael Jordan loved playing in New York. There's something about it. The fans, whatever. But this is the classic what could have been in sports. LeBron goes Cleveland to Miami. He met with New York, and here's what apparently transpired. which is frustrating for fans. Now, some historical context. Every big brand in American sports, every one has had droughts. Alabama football went 18 years of Dennis Franchione and Mike DeBose and Mike Shula. They were 0 titles in 18 years, and Alabama was a big nothing burger. Green Bay Packers won Super Bowl II and Super Bowl 31. In between, not much to talk about. They had some bad years when I was a kid for about 15 straight years. The Yankees went 12 years without even making the playoffs in the mid to late 80s and early 90s. The Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in 25 years. Everybody has a drought. The problem, those are solvable droughts, we mostly think. Alabama can hire the right football coach, right? Like, you can get the right coach or the right quarterback. People in LA complain about USC football, and I'm like, they won the Rose Bowl 4 years ago. They beat a college football power, Penn State. It's been 4 years. And even last year, they weren't unwatchable. They lose to Notre Dame now. They shouldn't lose to Notre Dame as often as they do, but it's, you can watch the games. They've got NFL-level players sometimes. But what's scary for the Knicks is that it's James Dolan, and he doesn't have any interest selling the team. So that becomes unsolvable. It's not the right GM, the right coach, the right star player. They've got the wrong owner. And from Donald Sterling to the Detroit Lions to the Cubs for years to an aged Al Davis, if the owner's bad, you're bad. And it's unsolvable. The second issue, do the Knicks really have a brand? Because think about this. They have the losingest playoff win percentage in the NBA this century. They've got 8 division titles in their history and 23 last place finishes. What is their brand? So the last time Dolan bought them in 99, they've been irrelevant for 20 years. And since most of us don't start watching TV in sports till about we're 6 or 7, 8 years old, that means for anybody that's 28 and younger, they're irrelevant. Because they've been irrelevant for 20 years. So the question now, it's a bad draft, there's no free agents, and they've got a stink on the franchise that no free agents want to play there. So I don't think it's unreasonable to say they're going to be irrelevant for at least the next 4 years, maybe 5. So that would be 25 years of irrelevance. And if kids don't watch TV sports and really, start building their loyalty to about 7, 8 years old, 25 plus 7 or 8 is 32. Meaning nobody under 32 years old sees them as a brand. Translation, free agents. Kevin Durant talks about that. My question is, if they're bad for 4 more years and they don't have a star player now, it's not a good free agent year or a draft year, and they've got a stink that's going to hurt them for at least the next 4 to 5 years, that makes 25 years of irrelevance. Kids don't really start getting into a brand or a team until they're 6, 7, or 8 years old. Nobody under 32 even sees him as a brand. That between Dolan and that, you've got yourself something that may not recover. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.